II in the Danish royal family and their secrets. From Queen Mary to Anne-Marie of Greece. Following the abdication of Margaret II on January 14, 2024, Crown Prince Frederick succeeded to the throne, and Princess Mary became Queen Consort. The couple, who were 55 and 51 years old, respectively, celebrated their 20th wedding anniversary in 2024. The Danish royal family is a member of the House of Gulbenth, similar to the royal families of Norway and Greece prior to the abolition of the monarchy in Denmark. The dynasty is descended from Christian I, the Ninth, and Queen Lise. The youngest branch of the royal family has roots going back over 1,000 years. While in Sydney cheering on the Danish sailing team at the 200 Olympics, Frederik met the CEO from the advertising agency at a pub. Their long-distance love lasted several months, and Philipe, the sixth Prince of Aerus at the time, supposedly observed their first meeting. Since then, they've had 4 children together. Crown Prince Christian, Princess Isabella, and twins Vincent and Josephine. The emerald diadem of the Danish queens, the only jewelry of its kind in the crown jewels, is part of a pair with a matching necklace bro and screw earrings. It was commissioned by Queen Caroline Amelia in 1840 by Weop for the coronation of her husband Christian VII, the last Danish monarch to wear the crown of Christian. All of the silver and gold pieces are adorned with bows studded with diamonds, held among others by emeralds given by King Christian VI to Queen Sophie Malene at the birth of their son, the future Frederik V, in 1723. In the documentary series, Queen Margrethe of Denmark revealed that it was her mother, Queen Ingrid, who returned to using the jewels. My mother was interested in history, and thought it was a pity that these jewels were lying around. They needed to be used. The king's wife, the Queen, permission to use them. The former monarch, who considered the jewels a kind of work clothes, noted in the first chapter that the more than 60 emeralds in this set were very rare, of a very rich green color, very dark and almost without speckles, which is extremely rare. Crown Princess Margrethe and Auri de la Baby d'Aunt Pazat welcomed their first son, Frederik Andre Henry Christian, on May 26, 1968, at Copenhagen University Hospital. From that day on, it was clear that he would one day become king. Christian received a political science education at Hus University and Harvard. He served in the military and is now a senior commander in the Navy, a lieutenant colonel in the Army, and a lieutenant colonel in the Air Force. For his own interests, he runs his own foundation, through which he supports humanitarian, social, cultural, scientific, athletic, educational, non-profit, and philanthropic causes. Frederik is an adrenaline junkie and real adventurer. He went on a dog sledding excursion in northern Greenland for 4 months in 2000 and an expedition to Mongolia in 1986. Christian, the second in line to the Danish throne, was born on October 15, 2005, making him the second youngest of his father's children. He has already finished high school and is stepping into his role as Frederik's regent, a title bestowed upon him upon his accession. Whether Christian, like his predecessors, will undergo military training before attending university is currently unknown. Margaret of Denmark was born in Copenhagen on April 16, 1940, the eldest of 3 daughters of King Frederik I, 9th, and Queen Ingrid, great-granddaughter of Britain's Queen Victoria. The birth of 3 princesses in 1953 led to a change in the law that was approved by referendum in 1953, allowing a woman to rule Denmark. She did so for 52 years, from 1972 to 2024, the longest reign in Europe and her country. Margaret was the only one of the 3 daughters of a king to attend university. She earned a degree in prehistoric archaeology from Cambridge, studied politics at a Hughes University, the Soren, and the Lender London School of Economics. In 2018, she fell in love with French diplomat Henry de Bourg de Mons, born in June 1969, just 1 year after Frederik. Prince Joachim, Earl of Mornpat, received military training and a degree in economics. He followed in his brother's diplomatic footsteps, first working at the Danish embassy in Paris and, starting in 2023, at the Danish embassy in Washington. Margaret's decision to strip Jum's children of the titles of prince and princess in January 2023, much to Jum's dismay, was a driving factor in his departure. Dear Auri Ina, the first 2 Auri and Athena are offspring of Felix's second marriage. Nicholas and Felix became Count and Countess of Mzar. Ma was the birth year of Princess Marie Cavalier's first 2 children, Nicholas and Felix. Alexander Che Manley was Joam's spouse from 1995 to 2005. After her 1968 marriage to Prince Richard Casimiro von Wittgenstein-Berber of Germany, a member of one of her country's most important princely houses, she moved to Germany with their 3 children, Gustav, Alexandra, and Natalia. Benedicta continued to support Margrethe in her role as countess and is included in the line of succession to the throne. After her husband's death, she started spending more time in Denmark. Although she was born and raised in Denmark, Anna Maria, Queen Margarethe of Greece and Denmark, was his younger sister and married Constantine, King of Greece, when she was 18 years old. They had 5 children together. Anna Maria met Constantine when she was 13 years old during King Paul's visit to Denmark, and Queen Frida escorted her to Greece so she could marry him. Philippos, Alexia, Paul, Nicholas, and Theodora Constantine became Queen Consort the same year she was married, although her reign was brief, lasting only 9 years. Since then, the couple has lived in exile, first in Rome and later in London, until their return to Greece in January 2023. Anna Maria said goodbye to her beloved husband, the last king of the Helen, brother of Queen Sophia, the second daughter of King Frederik IX and Queen Ingrid of Denmark, who married German nobleman Richard S. Winstein-Berber on February 3, 1968 in the chapel of Fredensborg Palace. For this romantic event, the princess used the needlework of her compatriot Jørgen Bender. It was he who dressed her younger sister Marie for her wedding to King Constantine of Greece in 1964, and her older sister Margaret for her wedding to Frenchman Aue de Labour d'Aunt Pazat in 1967. Benedicta of Denmark's white gown consisted of an empire-cut cape with long sleeves, a boat neckline in a very long cable-like train that barely hinted at the brocade skirt of the slightly flared Silu W. The only jewellery was 2 bows under the bust adorned with a pair of star-shaped braids inherited from her maternal great-grandmother Victoria, Queen Consort of Sweden. She wore the same Irish lace veil worn by her mother. Maternal grandmother Margaret of Connaught, first wife of King Gustav I/VI Adolf of Sweden, and her sisters, and was crowned like these two with a Cartier diamond tiara known as the Tiara of the Cad of Egypt, because it was the viceroy of that African country who gave it to her grandmother in 1904. The Danish royal family is related to several royal families in Europe. One of King Carl XVI Gustav's first cousins is Queen Margaret II of Sweden. Both Margaret and Prince Gustavus Adolphus were sons of Gustavus I/VI Adolphus of Sweden and Margaret of Connaught, and Margaret's mother, Queen Ingrid, was a sister of the father of the Swedish king, Prince Gustavus Adolphus.